Friends, thank you for watching my channel. I just want to remind you, if you need wallpaper, go to www.wallpaperboulevard.com. Tell them Spencer sent you. In fact, if you use my hashtag, Spencer Colgan is wallpaper, they'll be sure to give you 10% off at your checkout. No matter how much you order, they have a wide selection of wallpaper. Check it out. Today I'm installing an Ajiro, or some people say Ajiro chevron wood veneer wall covering. Let me show you the booklet that comes with it. Ajiro chevron wood veneer, hand finished wall covering. That's how it's going to look when we're done. So I went ahead and I painted the wall with a paint that matches the wood veneer that we're putting up. Now what I'm going to do is put some keys in it by scratching it up, scuffing it with sandpaper, which is what I suggest you do if you install this material in your home. All I'm doing is using a used fine grit sandpaper, because I want to take the slipperiness, the shine off of the surface. The scuffing up with sandpaper allows me to help in the adhesion of the product to the wall. Now there are little keys, scratches on the surface that'll help the wallpaper stick. After that, I am putting a layer of paste on the wall, clear, heavy-duty paste. People say, what paste do you use? Well, I suggest that you use a clear, heavy-duty paste. Go to your local paint store and ask them if they sell it. If they don't, I highly suggest Dynamite 234. And this will prevent bubbles, believe it or not. Not only bubbles, but it will help in the adhesion process. And we want to wait till this tacks up. And we're not going to put the wall covering on when it's wet. We're going to wait till this dries. As I get ready to hang it, let me just show you this. So it's a veneer, right? A lot of our cabinets that we used to see in our kitchens are wood veneer. Not so much today, but it's a layer of wood put on a paper backing. And you can see how flexible it is. Now, to make this even more malleable and manageable as we manipulate this product, what I'm going to do is, when our wall dries, I'm going to dampen each side. This side and this side as well, in order that this material relax. Because when I put this up, this veneer is going to curl back. And there's no breaking the spine with a wood veneer product. And breaking the spine is to reverse roll the material back up the way it is now, but in reverse. And then you crush it. But that would wrinkle permanently and damage this very expensive product. So alternatively, we will dampen each side to relax the fibers of the material in order that it become installable. Our wall is just about ready to start hanging our wood veneer wall covering. You can see that it's dry in some areas. Now, this process is referred to in the trade as Velcroing the wall. And all that means is what it sounds like. You make the wall sticky, and then you make the back of the wall covering sticky in the expectation that it will stick just like Velcro. It provides a better life for the wall covering on the wall, because you are coating the wall with paste. And so I did. But you want to let that dry. You don't want to put it on and let it be wet while you install the wall covering. This gets very sticky when you wet it. And so when the wetness of the wall covering that has paste on the back of it touches this, it will activate the paste. Have you ever removed wallpaper? Isn't it a process to remove the paste? Why does the paste get liquefied? It's because it's water soluble, and when you mix the water with the wallpaper that you're removing, you have globs of wallpaper paste that could, in theory at least, be used again and as an adhesive. That's how strong it is. And so when this gets wet, it's going to bond like cement and eliminate those nasty little bubbles. We're almost ready to hang. I just wanted to show you another tool that I will be using. Would you ever think that such a piece of corrugated cardboard would provide a useful service in the installation of a wood veneer wall covering? Well, if not, let me show you how. The surface of the product I'm hanging is susceptible to getting scuffed. It's wood. It's a wood veneer. And so you protect it. I'm using a cushioned piece of cardboard. I'll be putting this side toward me and this side against the wood veneer, so that when I go to smooth it out, and I'm going to have to, it's a very it's a stubborn material, and so you're going to have to put some pressure on it. On the other hand, the surface doesn't like the pressure, or the friction, I should say, of this thing. You might say use a roller. You'll never get the bubbles out. So you want to put, that's why it's so important to put this layer of paste on the wall. And so what I'm going to do is use a cushioned piece of corrugated cardboard, so that this nice surface will be pressing up against the wood instead of this, which will make marks on it. With clean sponges now, we're going to dampen the front and the back. You're worried about it, right? Staining? No. It's gonna dry, right? When your wood gets wet, doesn't it dry? So will this. And all we're doing is just making it damp. The sponge isn't soaking wet. Make it damp. And do that on the whole top surface, and then on the back. Same thing on the back now. Not too wet again. It's not soaking, but it is very damp. I would say it's very damp. See that? Before my backing has a chance to dry, I'm now going to put my paste on it. I just want to show you the thickness of the paste. You don't want to be pulling this through a pasting machine. Now, in order to let this soak into this type of thick backing, we're going to go between 5 and 8 minutes. 5 and 8 minutes so that it can soak into the fibers of the backing. Now, do you know why you use a clear paste? Could you imagine what would happen if you have a white paste? Well, that white would seep through the other side. And so we use a clear paste. Now, when we roll near the edges of this beautiful veneer, we're going to treat it like grass cloth when we roll the paste on. You see the edge here? I'm not going to roll off the edge like this so I can go down and get paste underneath onto the veneer. I'm going to roll it on an angle. Look. This way, the roller never has a chance to put paste on the other side because the arm edge of the roller is supported by the table and therefore won't do this. And so I advise you to do the same. So we're letting the panel, look, we overlap it. We bring each of the sides as close to the center as possible. And of course, you're not going to crush this and make that a corner. Okay? So this is the booking process, whereby both sides of the backing are put together for a period of time so that they can soak in the paste. And we're doing this with this product no more than 8 minutes.
You have like a drill bit or something? That's yours, right?
Oh, I think those are Josh's.
Yeah, I don't know. Looking them over.
Now, I have a question for those of you who are interested. Can I butt the next sheet up against this? Who says yes? Look in the middle of your screen. Does that look like it'll take a butt joint?
Yeah.
Of course not. And so the product is obviously manufactured with the intention of the installer doing a double cut.
I think,
And so when I put sheet number 2 up, this part of the pattern will go here. So you see we have light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light. Going down. Watch this. Dark going up. The light will complete the chevron going down. How much do you overlap? Well, guess what? That's a judgment call. I will say this, if you do it too much, you're going to make this and this and this look unequal. If you cut too much of this off, you're going to make a noticeable difference in the width of these different vertical pieces.
and,
So I've measured from the edge to an inch to the left of this edge. And the edge of my tape is 1 inch away from my edge. Here,
it's cool you guys don't work weekends.
here,
Easy for you guys.
and here. So that when I lay my next piece
You're the only folks that aren't working.
right up to this edge,
Yeah, it's good for you guys.
I know that I'm overlapped an inch. And I'm going to cut it a 1/2 inch from this edge so that I only lose 1/2 inch off of this sheet and 1/2 inch off of the second sheet. Each of these is 6 inches. So with my laser line, I fill in the rest of the gap, putting my tape along the red laser line. So as you can see, my wet edge cannot wet this, and it's protected by tape. And so my wet edge goes right up. I mean, come on. You gotta take your time here so you don't mess this up. Now, we know we have an inch here, right? We measured. The edge of the blue tape is 1 inch from the edge. And so if we cut halfway from the edge of an inch, halfway of an inch, we're cutting off a half an inch. And then we're gonna pull the tape off, right? Let's get that done. But first we have to smooth it out. I've turned the lights down just so that you can see what I'm doing here. I put a laser 1/2 inch from the edge. So now I know my tape is straight. The edge of my wallpaper is so straight, but my laser line is the defining thing that will give me that straight cut. Now, with a single edge blade, we're going to cut through both layers of our veneer. Now, for those of you who have never done it, don't try this on your expensive wood veneer wall covering for the first time. Cut a piece off of the edge, 7 or 8 inches, and practice. Go through several different pieces of it, determining how hard you have to press in order to go through 2 layers without cutting the wall. So you'll take a piece of it, cut a foot of it off, overlap it, cut through it, overlap it, cut through it again, and find your wheelhouse. And you'll be as good as anybody else is doing this. To guide my blade down the wall covering, I could use this 6-foot piece of stainless steel, or I can use this, and this is what I'm going to use right here. To get through the first 2 inches at the top, this isn't good enough to get the angle going. I gotta use this, okay? After you do that cut, switch your blade around. We're almost there. Careful with this thing. Okay, and please, especially for those who are new, make sure this is locked. I don't want anybody getting cut on that. That would be horrible. Let me bring you up close to the cut. Whenever you take the blade off of the wallpaper, in this case, you may as well get another blade. Ouch! You see that? That hurts. I didn't get that from this job. I don't know where I got that cut, but it hurts. Okay. I'm looking for my cut line. Okay, found it. Now you can see what I was doing. Okay, careful, push hard, nice and hard. Come on now. Nice. Okay, nicey nice. Okay, folks, now watch this. Do you think I can keep going down? No. Oh, you can't see that. I better bring you close. I better bring you up close. Watch this. I have to change the angle at which I'm moving my blade. Because look, I can't do it, right? Look. Right? So now watch what you do. You go to the bottom, find your cut line, start at the bottom, and go up. Okay, and you'll feel that you will cut right into the penetration. You'll feel it, right? Okay, now let's get this cut and see how we did. It's very thick, folks. Very, 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 very thick. Now, let's see how we did. Hopefully we did good. We'll turn our laser light off. We can turn our light on, right? Okay, here's our tape, right? Okay. This is always the nail biter, folks. Oh, look at the beauty. Look at that. When I first started doing this, the stress involved, and everybody just said, yep. Anybody watching this video is basically somebody who probably never hung this, or maybe a pro watching it to say, nope, Spencer, I disagree. I got a lot of pros watching my channel, giving me good advice, and I appreciate all of them. You know, Ben Patana, he's one of them. There's another fellow, he's a veteran installer from California, Capo Wacko, that's his name. Great guy, very knowledgeable. I appreciate everything, and I hope he watches this. Look at that. Look at that beauty. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at the perfection. Nobody told me. You forgot to tell me. We got to get something out of here, right? Yes. Okay, careful now. Careful. We have to get that tape out. And look what's under the tape, folks. Right? Our other piece of veneer. So that's our underlap. Let's get it out. I'm going to use two hands. Now, has anybody thought about the tape issue? Let me use two hands. I don't want this tape hitting the wall covering. I got to get up there. Now, we don't want to just scuff up the wallpaper, so I want to protect it and go over it. Again, this is corrugated cardboard. You don't want to be scuffing this up. Please don't do it. I want to use the absorbing side. Over here, I was using the wrong side. Okay? And why? In case any paste comes out, and I'll keep checking it, but nothing's coming out. But in case it did, this would catch it and prevent it from smearing somewhat. It gives you some protection. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do as I go up, okay, and down on my seam. But to be fair to you, I want to show you the beauty of what we've accomplished thus far. Let me show you. As you know, I still have to do the rest of the seam, but look, this is our seam right here. Okay, not too bad. As you know, I still have to do the rest of the seam, but look, this is our seam right here. Okay, not too bad. And now you can see the benefits of following these simple rules. Look at the perfection. Look at the seamless juncture between the left and right panels. You cannot see that we've taken a little away from each of the sides of the left and right because it's a negligible amount. That's why you want to use the tape and the laser line together. In this segment, I'm going to show you an alternative to the measuring game. Our tape is about 1.5 inches, right? Now, if you're too nervous to do this, don't do it. But you can hang your next sheet by eye, and it'll be level, straight, I mean plumb. Because our first sheet is plumb. And so you saw that the second sheet was plumb in the sense that we kept a parallel line going down, right? Now, consequently, the third sheet, or the third seam, is also plumb. So if I hang my next sheet, and the edge of my next sheet is equidistant from top all the way down to the edge, right? Then we know it's plumb. You know what I mean? If the next sheet is consistently showing me by eye that the reveal, the blue that's left after I hang the sheet, is consistent and it's not wavy, you can do that. If you're not comfortable doing that, then do it the way I showed you in the previous segment when we did that seam. But I'm going to do that this way now. Now, to make sure that it's plumb, let's get a level on it. If I check my reveal, it's just slightly off. I see that it gets narrow at the bottom. That'll make a crooked or not plumb edge. But guess what? We're almost perfect. So my theory worked. If you have a reveal, meaning what is exposed of the blue tape, that gets narrow either at the top or the bottom, you know you're slightly off. So my theory worked. Okay, so this is an alternative for you. So what I'm doing here is I'm not using the laser level. If you're confident that you're plumb, you can simply go by this side of the blue tape and just be consistent. Let me switch my blade over. Okay, so be very careful to get your blade starting where you left off. And you don't want to go slow. If you go slow, you'll get a wavy line. Oh. Now, I'm trimming the edge. This is like cutting a hardcover book. We're going to switch blades. We're going to a retractable blade, breakaway blades. And so, a couple of things to consider. We got to keep the glue, the paste off of the veneer. And so if the cameraman can just get in there and here's what I'm doing. I'm doing it like up and down, because what I'm doing is, when I do this, I'm feeling the side of that. I'm feeling, when I go up and down, if I don't, I'm gonna wind up going off of the edge of the sheetrock. See, this is a build out, what we're doing. This is 5/8 and 5/8. 2 pieces of 5/8 sheetrock out from this wall. And so, if now you can come on this side, I'll show them what I'm talking about. And if you don't do it like this, you're gonna have all this unevenness and it's gonna be a lot of work to trim. So again, look how I'm holding it. Almost like a craft, right? So check it out, I'm doing this. I get that slice going. My blade is extended an inch at least, okay? I'll move my head for you. And so the customer's going to be putting trim right up against this edge. Okay, and moving the blade helps me not cut into his sheetrock, so I can keep it true. Notice how I keep flapping back the veneer. I want to make sure that it's straight or plumb. Ugh, I just ate paste. Okay, I went a little off. I'm shaving it away and I'm resuming. Remember, the blade has to be extended so that it stays against the sheetrock and doesn't. If you don't extend it, you'll start cutting into the good stuff. Okay? Now, let's say you blew it, you messed it up. Let me give you a remedy, 1 second. Let's say you blew it, okay? And you got a wavy line. Spencer, I messed it up. Here's what you do. You simulate the sheetrock edge with a new blade. Let's say you're wavy, right? You put this right up against the sheetrock edge. Your waviness will come out here, and you just do this. See that? And that's how you do it. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you, brother.